Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of Romp Chess Rating and Climb. It's been about a week since I've posted the video. Apologize about that. It's been a busy, hectic week, but I'm ready to get back at it. I'm coming off a win in episode 5. Currently, I'm sitting at an ELO of 547 and hoping to improve that today. So again, I'll be playing 15-10 format. And having said that, let's hit the play button and see what's in store for us. So we're searching for an opponent. And looks like I'll be playing as white today. So without any hesitation, I will open with e4. Pretty standard opening. Bobby Fischer called e4 best by test. My opponent is taking their time in a response. They're actually at risk of auto abort, so they have a little less than 30 seconds to make a move. So again, I don't know what's going on here. The black only has a couple of responses that they could realistically make, and so they move. They finally move. So so they play e5, which is a common response. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my knight out, and I'll play knight to f3, and that will attack this little pawn here. And also it also develops my knight, which is one of the first things I want to do. And then black responds by bringing their knight out, which puts a defender on this pawn. So right now I'm attacking, black is defending. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my bishop out and attack this weak f2 pawn right here in front of the king. And this move also controls this critical d5 square here. So after just 3 moves, I've already prepared my my king to castle on the short side if I choose to. But that will depend on what my opponent chooses to do. And actually, oh, it's my turn. I didn't even notice. So they've moved their knight out on the rim here, which is a pretty unconventional move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and castle. Let's do that. See how black responds there. I need to pay closer attention. Try to keep track of when it's my move. It's my opponent's move. I guess I blame that on a senior moment. I am noticing here that that a threat that I have, especially considering this move here that black has made, if I go here with my knight, since I'm covering this diagonal with the bishop, that puts a threat on this pawn, and also threatens to fork the queen and the rook with a subsequent move, and it reveals an attack on this knight. So let's go ahead and hit here with this knight, and again the objective is to go to here with my next move. Oh, I missed that. So yeah, that's a blunder on my part. So again, just not paying attention. I'm doing more talking than paying attention to the board. So let's slow down a little bit here. If I push this pawn, that will reveal an attack on the queen. So let's do that. And black moves the queen over here behind the knight. If I'm just looking here what my options are. The queen's really no threat at this time. Although I'm sure they have thoughts of going to here, which is covered by this knight, so I have to be careful of that. So let's kick the knight here. Which puts tension on this knight. The queen can't take here because that pawn is protected. That does weaken my pawn structure here. So black pushes this knight here, or this pawn here. So they've got this pawn chain formed. They're covered there. If I take here, that opens up this file. Which I don't necessarily like that. But I could take with the queen, offering the queen trade. So I could take here, but that's covered by the bishop, so I can't do that. Let's, do I have any other attacks? Let's just go ahead and play a normal development move and bring the knight out to here. Jump with the knight to there. That threatens a fork here. So if I win this one, it'll definitely have to be a comeback, but that's okay. I'm down by one exchange, and black is covering this square. So black can't go there. You could take there. So let's kick the knight there. So this knight has to go somewhere. It doesn't have a lot of options. Can't go there, it'd be taken. Can't go there, it would be taken. Can't go there, it would be taken. It would be taken there. He could go back to here or here. In either case, my objective is to move my knight to d5. They're taking their time thinking about it. It's kind of unusual this early in the game to have yeah, and they move their knight back. So again, that's the only reasonable space that they have for that knight. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to here with my knight. And that's threatening a check here with a fork on the rook. It would be really great to either take this rook or force black to move the king, in which case if they move the king, they'll forfeit their castling rights for the rest of the game. Then I would still be able to take the rook. So again, my objective is to go to here with a fork on the. Oh, and they go ahead and move the rook. I mean the king. So now their king is exposed. They can't castle for the rest of the game. If I move my bishop to here, this knight is pinned. So I definitely want to do that. So now this knight can't move because the bishop is on the same diagonal with the king. I just have to oh, I just saw something else too. So yeah, so I could go ahead and take here, but I just noticed that since black moved the king to here, they're blocking this bishop. So I could actually go ahead and take here. Let me go ahead and draw it. I could take the knight, which would offer a queen trade. Let's go ahead and take here. And that's also a check on the king. So actually, yeah. So that trade is pretty much forced. Black's only other option would have been to move the king out of check, in which case I would have taken the queen. So so now I'm just going to take the queen. Queens are now off the board. And then of course black's going to, so black takes there. Now I'm still down in exchange. I just have to figure out how I'm going to get the rest of my pieces active. So I've got both my rooks on the back rank, so I need to get those off the back rank. I need to develop my bishop to a more active square. Let's see, what's black's most threatening piece right now? So the knight can't move there. The knight could move there, and I don't want it to advance, so let's put my bishop here, which will control that diagonal. I could also consider relocating my knight to here and attack this pawn. And I'm not going to take here. So black is threatening this pawn, which is hanging. If I take, black's going to take back, so I won't really gain anything by that. And I need to be pushing my pawns anyway. I want to break open the center is what I want to do. I want to break open the center. Right now my rooks have nowhere to go because these pawns are restricting. The one exception is the H file. But my king's in the way there. So let's go ahead and push this pawn here. Black, they could try to go here with a check, which is fine. That would mean that I would have to move my king, relocate my king. Oh, I'm not really sure the purpose of that move. I could try to kick the rook, but I can't do that because the knight's threatening there. But what I can do is push this pawn to here, and then the knight could go to there. Yeah, so let's push here. So the rook can't take because this pawn is defended twice. Yep, I knew that was coming. Like I said, that's fine. That is a check there. So the knight is really not going to be a threat to any other vulnerable piece. So I just have to relocate my my king, so I can either move here or here. I think I'm going to get off the back rank. I'll have to do something about this this knight being down here on the second rank. I would really like to trap it some way so it can go to here, so I could push this pawn, which would take that square away. And it would also defend this square. Oh, so interesting. So black is moving the king out. So black can't take there, obviously, because the knight is defended. So let's push this pawn to here. And let's see if I can okay, so I've got this bishop on the same diagonal as the knight. So I'm going to push this pawn to here. Which will kick the bishop. So the bishop has to move or be captured. It's probably going to go to, well, you can't go to there. Yeah, he retreats. So let's put the rook there to force the knight to move. Let's think about this a minute. So if I go there, the knight can't go here, here, can't take there, can't take there because that's covered by the, yeah. So let's do that to kick the knight. Let's see where the knight's going to go. If I'm looking at this correctly, the knight doesn't have a space where it can go without being captured. Am I seeing that right? Of course, it can't go here or here because both those squares are controlled by the rooks. Can't go here because that square is controlled by the king. This square is controlled by this pawn and the bishop. This square is controlled by this pawn and the bishop. And this square is controlled by this knight. So not a lot of options for black at this point. Really their best option would be to take one of those pawns since they're going to lose the knight anyway, and that would actually be to my advantage because it would open one of those files for my rook, which I really want to do. The best option for black would be to take here. because if they take here, I take back, that's going to attack this this rook, so the rook will have to move. So they decide to take the knight, and that's okay. I'm going to take, no, I'm going to take, let's see, if I take here, the king would take back. Yeah, let's get this knight taken care of first. Interesting game here. I'm just looking around to see what my options are right now. The light square bishop is under attack, so it's going to have to go somewhere, and it doesn't have a lot of options. It could go there. It can't go, and he retreats back. So I'm going to have to push these pawns. And I want to push the pawns that are closest to the king. So if I push here, that pawn is attacked twice by this pawn and this pawn, but it's on the same file as the king. So that's what I'm wanting to do. As I'm wanting to break open this file, which is ideal. So let's take back here. Now this pawn is hanging, but if black takes, I'll relocate my... Okay, so they decide to move the king instead. Let's see what we got. Let's just keep pushing these pawns. So let's go here. Right now I'm down 4 points of material. That and of course let's take back. And then rook goes there. Now the bishop is pinned. Bishop is pinned, so they can't move the bishop, but they can protect the bishop. So let's just keep on. Let's keep on trying to open this thing up. So let's hit here. Black still hasn't activated this dark square bishop and the rook back here, and they haven't moved these 3 pawns on the back rank, so all the action is right in here. I probably want to go ahead and just sacrifice this pawn here, and okay, so I want to break this open. So I got to get these rooks. Got to get these rooks into action. So let's if I push there, then black takes. Let's go ahead and relocate my rook to here. And if they take this pawn, so they are bringing their bishop out. So let's keep pushing. So let's go there. Now if black takes, I'll take back with the rook. So let's take here. I need to get this dark square bishop on a more active square too, which I could push this pawn, put the dark square bishop here, okay, so the king can't take here. Let's put both these rooks on the same file. That pawn is protected by the dark square bishop. So right now, that, well, the bishop's not really, probably still need to push this pawn on my next move. So they go ahead and move the rook. Can I take here? No, because the rook is covering. But I can push there. I can push this rook to here. Now I'm threatening check here because well, okay, so yes, I need to take there. The king takes. I'll check here. Then I'll snatch this pawn here. So black is up a bishop. They've got me in check. So I'm going to move my king to there on a safer square. Let's take there. Just to put a few seconds back on the clock. Okay, so stacking the rooks. So I have a check here. Have a check here. I can take here. Oh, look what we're trying to do here. We're trying to push this pawn. So let's go here. Let's go here. King has to move. Let's go here. let's check again. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Well, I'm going to have to take there. Bishop will take back. Now I can take, now I can check. Let's go back to here because I don't want that pawn to promote. Let's go here. Okay, so what are we going to do? I have to get my king down here closer to the action. If I take there, yeah, that's about it for me. I'm toast. I'm toast. It's just a matter of how I want to lose. Okay. So if I put my king here, well, I've got to take. I have to take the pawn because the pawn's about to promote. Then black's going to take. So they have 224. I need to stay on the dark squares, and let's see. Let's see if I can get a draw out of this, at the very least. Yeah, losing that knight at the beginning of the game, that really hurt. I just wasn't paying attention. Like I said, it happens. It happens. It's all fun. All fun and games. It's all fun and games until you lose. Let's see. Let's see if they'll be able to checkmate me. I'm not going to resign. That's for sure. So I'll make them earn it. I can't take there. Man, it'd be great if they blundered one of these pieces. So let's go there. Right now I'm just making repetitive moves with my king to try to draw the game. This the rook is protected, of course. So I just need to stay on the dark squares. Really, honestly, black doesn't even need to use this bishop there. They don't even need to worry about that bishop. They can checkmate me with the rook and just the king. Let's see if they can figure it out here. Oh, there they go, moving the bishop again. You don't need to move the bishop, but that's okay. Okay, just make the box smaller. They have a check. No, I'm not sure what they're doing with the. Okay, so now I have to go back this way. Do I have a move? Yeah, I can go there. Can't go there, can't go there. I only have one legal move. Now I have 3 legal moves. So I can't go anywhere on this file. Okay. So let's go there. They'll figure it out eventually. Again, they don't need this bishop at all. They can checkmate me with the king and the rook. They just need to make this box smaller. So right now I can't move anywhere on this diagonal. I can't move anywhere else on this diagonal. So it's like a box. So if the rook just keeps moving and making the box smaller, then the king could come over support, and I'll be toast. Now the rook should move here. Let's see what to do. I bet they move the bishop. They'll move the bishop to there. Oh, no. They got it figured out. So I can't move. So the king's controlling these 3 squares. Can't move here and here, so I have 3 legal moves. I can move there, there, or there. So that's the move. There you go. Bring the king over to support. Exactly what you want to do. Now I only have 1 legal move. Nope. Now you just let me out of the box. See, they're letting the box get bigger. So I'll go to there. And it's a draw. I'll take it. So Interesting game indeed. My opponent punished me several different times. I don't know. I didn't have my head completely in this game. But they got down to the end there, and they couldn't figure out how to checkmate me. Again, they didn't need the bishop. They only needed the king and the rook, but they couldn't figure it out. And I was able to draw the game, which is not this, not this. It's just kind of even. So I'll take that. So so let's jump in and review and see what we can take away from this game. But yeah, it was ugly. Gosh, it was ugly. That's the worst game I've played in a long time. In a long time. Geez, I had 6 blunders, 6 misses, 1 mistake, 7 inaccuracies. Gosh, that was horrible. My opponent did not play well either. I didn't take advantage of my opportunities, but yeah, I have fun. So it's all good. Let's jump into review, and I won't agonize you by going through all that at the end here. So let's pretty standard opening. Again, I was intending on playing the Scotch, and my gosh, I wasn't even thinking about this queen on this diagonal. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It just sometimes in chess we, especially like at my level, we kind of see things with blinders. We get focused in on a particular move, and we don't fully analyze the consequences until it's too late. And sometimes we're punished for it, sometimes we're not. But here we go. So that was a bad move for black. You never want to put your knight on the rim of the board because it has limited spaces to go. I went ahead and castled. And again, that's another inaccuracy for black. They moved their knight twice in a row, and at this point, I'm actually feeling pretty confident about the game, and then I do that. Then I do that, and when I made that move, honestly, I didn't even see that it was a blunder until, yeah, until the queen took it, and yeah, I wish I could have taken that back, but that's not the way chess works. So I did my best to try to make the best of it. I could have pushed the pawn on up to d4 there and attacked this weak pawn, but I didn't. Queen moves. It's another inaccuracy for black, because now their knight is in jeopardy being taken, but I didn't take, which was a mistake from me. I should have taken this knight right here, but I was just I was concerned about opening up this file to the queen, so that's the reason I didn't take there. And then black makes a mistake again. So now I'm attacking both of black's knights with my pawns. And again, here my idea is to fork. Black ends up moving the king, which was another mistake. So at this point, I'm really feeling pretty good about the game, even though I'm I'm down in exchange of material. Stockfish is really wanting me to take this knight here and get that material back. Again, if I had it to do over again, that's what I would do, but I didn't. My idea was to pin the knight here to the king. They pushed the pawn. Let's see what happened here. So I take with the queen, and I should have taken with the pawn. So now black takes back, and I take with the pawn, but I end up losing my bishop. So I'm still down in exchange at this point. Let's just jump here. Yeah, that was a mistake for black here, pushing that rook up. I'm looking. So the game is back to pretty much even now. I should have taken. Man, I didn't even see that. So I should have taken the knight there with the pawn, which would have opened up this file. So instead, the pony escapes and checks my king. Let's see what else we got. So I take there. Stockfish is saying that I should have taken the knight, or the bishop here with the pawn. Yeah, I see that, because then I could have gotten both pieces, because if I had taken here, that would have been a check, and then I would have gotten the knight on the next move. So that's another miss. Instead, the bishop escapes. So I got one piece instead of two. So at this point, black puts the rook. I don't know what the purpose of this move was, putting a rook on this B file. And I take with a check. King takes back. Oh, I missed a check there. So if I had that square's protected by the pawn, but I thought about that. So if I took with the rook there, the king could have taken back that pawn. No, it couldn't have, because it's protected by this bishop. Yeah, so I missed a good check there. The king would have had to retreat back to one of these two squares. So I missed that. Let's see what else we got we can take a look at. So mistake there, doubling those rooks. Then I checked, and at this point I still have I'm behind, but I still have a decent chance in the game. I check again. Stockfish says I should have taken. Oh man, I missed that too. So I should have taken the bishop here because the king can't take back because of this rook. So I missed that. That would have pretty much evened up the game, and the rest of it is just, you know, running around the board like crazy until, oh, let's keep going. Oh, lots of bad moves until the draw. So again, right here, I don't have a legal move, so I can't move there, and I'm not in check. I can't move there, I can't move there, I can't move there, I can't move there, and I can't move there. So that, my friends, is a draw. So I don't really feel really proud of that game. I'm definitely going to go back and review this because it's definitely one that I should have won, but I didn't. So like I said, sometimes my head's just not where it needs to be to play chess. But either way, I appreciate you coming along for the journey. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again in episode 7. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll get a notification the next time I release an episode. Thanks, guys. Bye.